Hello everyone. Today let's review a medium premium question that I solved on my own earlier today. So this one just came out today and I was like one of the first people to solve it. So let's go over it. This one's not too hard, but it's really just about understanding the requirements. So you're given a integer array workers, you want to return an integer, and you're given this matrix of integers, and each 0th index is the skill requirement and the first index is the profit earned. And it says each worker can complete at most one task if the the skill level is equal to whatever their skill level is. And this is pretty confusing because you want to calculate the maximum total profit. But basically what they want you to do is to first create a dictionary. So let's map the values 0th index to the first index, because sometimes you can have different profits associated with the same skill level. So let's go ahead and do that. So for t in tasks, d of t of 0 dot append t1. Let's print the dictionary. Okay, so now what they want you to do is basically to take the maximum of each task and then also another one. So basically what that means is here you take the maximum and then also one more, if only and only if the workers is inside of it. So here, for example, you can't take anything and then the answer is going to be 3 because it says right here that you have each worker and there's additional worker who can take up any task. So we're obviously going to want to maximize that profit regardless of the skill. So it would just be 3. So now let's go over workers. And if the current worker is inside of the task, then we're going to get the maximum profit for that task because, for example, worker 3, we want to maximize that. We're not going to choose 100, we're going to choose 400. So let's call this result. And result plus equals to d of w, max of dw, right? The max of whatever the value list corresponding to that key is, for example, for worker 3. And let's print the result. So if d of w, then we do this. So we get 900, we get 0. Okay, cool. So now, since we've used these workers, what we want to do now is we want to pop, because this is the confusing part. After you use a worker up, for example, 1, 2, and 4, 1, 2, and 3, then you can't choose those anymore. So basically what that means is that you can only, so whatever the one you've already chosen, which is 900, you can't use those, but you can still use this because that hasn't been chosen. So let's make this a sorted list. And we're going to add dw of -1 because that's the biggest. And then we're going to pop because, for example, after we've chosen 400, now we just have 3 and 100. And after we go through these, because 5 and 4 are not keys in the dictionary, so ignore those. But to get the additional worker, we now have just 3 and 100, right? So if not d of w, if this list becomes empty after popping an element eventually, then we just delete the whole key value pair because we can't pick that anymore. We've already used a specific task. We can only take it once. So delete dw, which deletes the key value pair. Let's print the dictionary. So now you can see that, well, if not dw, then we're going to delete it. So now we want to get the maximum of whatever's left because that's the additional worker. Same thing here. So it's just 100, right? That's one additional worker. Here, there's only 1, 3, so you can only choose 3. You can't have duplicates. So what they're talking about is, first of all, you say 1, you pick 100 because that's only 1. 2, you pick 400, that's only 1. 3, we pick the biggest guy, and then only thing you have left is 3 and 100 because these are not even inside of the dictionary. So we can just say for TN tasks, well, Okay, so now we just have to get the biggest single task because a worker can only complete one task, right? So one task here would only be 1 3, not 2 3s, right? That's two separate tasks, even though they are the same number. So let's call this scene is set for k and d. Scene.add max of dk is going to be the maximum, whatever this is, which is going to give us 3. In this case, it's 100. In this case, it's 100. Let's print scene. Okay, so if dk is not empty, then we're going to do this. It's cool. So now we got what we needed. So we can just say return result plus the maximum of scene, because that's what we're looking for. So if not scene, then return result, because the extra worker, I guess you did take everything already, so there's literally no profits left to be taken by a single worker. So that's an edge case. But other than that, there you go. So it solves the question. I'm not sure about the time complexity. It's probably not good, but I did come up with this on my own after kind of struggling to understand the requirements, but I'm happy that I did, and hopefully this wasn't too confusing, although you do have to play around with it a little bit. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more.